Well, I've been putting this off. Hi. Welcome to the third support video, which will most likely be a majority of them. Like, the only one that literally don't have any more supports is Byleth here. That's because it's locked for the time being, and I just haven't done Gerald's yet. So let's just get it out of the way and go like from top left to bottom right, which probably will end with Shamira, not Gerald. Or Jarita. No, probably Manuela. Yeah, we'll end in Manuela. Calling it now. Tell me I'm wrong in 2 hours. So let's just start with Ferdinand.
Perhaps I will ask Edelgard to handle this matter.
That was the auto advance button.
As for this one, it seems as though I have no choice but to do it myself.
And now I realize probably
I could spare the time.
the audio is probably quiet for you guys, so let's fix that. Now you probably can hear the game. Sorry for that.
Hey, Ferdinand. You should probably think about getting some sleep. That's an order, actually, from Hubert. But I agree with him.
My apologies. My list of responsibilities has grown rather unwieldy of late.
That's not
Exhausted
good.
as I may be, I will be done here shortly. You need not fret.
Ferdinand, come on. I thought you were supposed to be giving everything your all. If you're really that tired, how are you gonna be in any shape for what's coming tomorrow? Go on and give your all to a good night's sleep.
Ah, yes, you are right. How could I, of all people, not realize the error in my ways? I shall take that to heart.
Wish him a good night. Stick around and make sure he actually
Glad to hear you're
sleeps.
coming around. Oh, and finish fast, okay? Here, I'll even help. I don't want to go to bed just to find out you stayed up all night working. Let me just...
It's gonna be a lot of
Wait.
work. Or is it not gonna be work at all?
What's up?
Never mind. Thank you for the concern. I will be sure to convey my gratitude to Hubert later as well.
Don't forget. He's really worried about you, you know.
Is he now?
He cares.
Usually he finds any occasion to criticize me.
Same here.
Is that so? And here I thought he had taken a shine to you.
Maybe he has.
If he has, he sure doesn't show it.
Ah, before I forget, what would you think about coordinating our schedules tomorrow? I have been so absorbed in my work of late, we have scarcely had the chance to spend time together. I have been pouring all of my effort into rising early, training, eating, and in the process, I have neglected our friendship.
I mean,
As fellow advocates of giving one's all to all of life's pursuits, I say we work together to draw out each other's dormant potential.
some of that actually sounds pretty good. I don't know about this. You are in war. Friendship is allowed to take a backseat and make sure people stay alive. But let's do it.
Works for me. My schedule's pretty light these days. It'll be good to spend some time together. But just so we're clear, we are not on the same page with this whole giving our all thing.
Splendid! This should serve as all the motivation I need to continue pressing onward undaunted. And with that settled, I believe it is time for us to devote ourselves fully to a tranquil slumber. Come, our lump-riddled camp beds await our zealous efforts.
Okay, this time you are joking, right? It's seriously impossible to tell with you sometimes.
What is a joke? That's sweet, like showing concern after the death of his father. Alright, next one up is Linhard.
So in the end, it seems we're no closer to unveiling the truth about your powers.
You can say that again. At this rate, the war will be over and done with by the time we make any headway.
That would admittedly be cause for celebration, at least.
Fair
Your
point.
power, like that of a crest, is undoubtedly meant to be wielded as an instrument of war. And as the tides of battle recede, your chances of encountering a life or death situation grow slimmer and slimmer. Therefore, you'll be forced to use your power less and less often. And that's probably for the best.
Question is necessarily agree with him.
True. The less reason to unleash this on the world, the better.
You know, they say even a hero's relic, wielded by its corresponding crest bearer, will still drain a portion of that person's life.
Ah.
It's reasonable to suspect your power could have a similar impact on both your body and mind.
I don't think I heard that before, Linhard. Also, I'm getting my autoplay button mixed up from Xenoblade, which is why I've been putting this off.
Hey, you're starting to scare me here. Honestly, I was just planning on going back to being a regular old mercenary after the war ends. Can't really imagine life without a blade in my hand, you know?
But you don't need one in both.
I should have guessed. I imagine your expert services will be in high demand even once the conflict is over. In fact, Edelgard herself seemed keen on asking you to settle down in Embar to support the Empire.
No.
Really?
You're shocked?
Not that I'm not flattered, of course, but putting down roots isn't really my thing.
No, I suppose not. Though I have to admit, it would put my mind at ease to have you by my side once this is all over.
Oh.
You want me by your side? Would you care to elaborate on that?
To help my research, of course.
Consider the possibilities. A seemingly unarmed attendant who's able to produce a sword in the blink of an eye. It would be a great crime deterrent, don't you think? You'd prove quite handy on my travels.
Laugh at you off the
I
idea.
figured that's what you meant. A pure Linhard answer, if I've ever heard one. But how's that any different from a regular bodyguard? Seems like you could just hire one of those and be done with it.
Maybe so, but I don't want to be spending the rest of my life with a random bodyguard, do I?
Linhard, you're facing.
Hold on, what?
Oh, well, look at the time. It seems I've forgotten an urgent matter I need to attend to. Bye for now.
Just genuinely confused.
Wait, Linhard, come back.
That was a sweet one. I have a feeling that most of these are gonna be sweet. And hopefully you're gonna learn about your prejudice against people who look mean. Kaspar! Time to get stronger.
Perfect timing, Kaspar. I was just looking for you.
You were? Oh, I get it. You want to go a few rounds, huh? Fine, we'll take you down without even breaking a sweat.
Well, no, I mean, okay, yes, at some point, but that's not what I'm here for. Your dad's around, right? I was sort of hoping I could get a session in with him.
Yeah, he should be fine.
You know, a little lesson from the Minister of Military Affairs himself.
It's his brother that is currently taken prisoner by the Alliance, or those who slither. I'm a bit hazy on the details.
Yeah, you might not want to do that.
Why not? You're training with him, aren't you?
Yeah, but he's holding back against
Well,
me.
sure, but I've been doing that since I could barely even talk. And it still knocks my backside into next month. A regular person like you wouldn't stand a chance.
Kaspar! I don't know if you noticed. I'm not regular.
What about this looks regular to you? Come on, I'm serious.
Don't say I didn't warn you. You want my advice? Don't eat anything beforehand if you don't want to be cleaning it off your armor later.
Jesus.
Oh, and cancel all your plans for after, because I can guarantee you are not going to make them. Just keep that in mind, okay?
Don't face me. Faces me. Definitely faces me.
Can't be that bad, can it? You're kind of scaring me here.
Oh, trust me, it can. I'm just making sure you don't get blindsided by the pain. Training with my father? It's a marathon of blood, sweat, and tears that'll leave you feeling like you're face to face with the goddess herself.
No!
Hey, you still alive?
I can't feel my legs.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. You're just out of energy is all. You know, my father praised you. Nobody's ever kept up with him as long as you did.
Nice.
Apparently, he's gonna come up with even tougher training now. Though I really wish he wouldn't.
Oh no.
I think I underestimated you, Kaspar. I don't know how you can handle training like that every day.
Oh, I don't train like this every day, just once a month.
Getting used to it was kind of
Oh,
my only
never
choice
mind.
growing up. I mean, I'm not as clever as you, so I had to make up for it by being tough as nails. That's why I'm always so gung-ho about getting stronger. Though, I don't know if that's really the most efficient way to go about it.
No, that training... efficiency has nothing to do with it. I think I get where that unwavering focus of yours comes from now.
Yeah? Well, in any case, I'm glad you're still alive and kicking. Our enemies aren't gonna know what hit them next time we get out on the battlefield.
Yeah! Can't walk anymore. Oh, can't talk.
You know, it's a nice change of pace seeing you like this.
Please don't laugh at my pain.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Bernie! And the last of the main Black Eagle crew.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Bernadetta, listen.
Oh no.
I'm sorry about what happened back there.
Did the meeting with her old Merc friend not go well?
Oh, it wasn't your fault. I'm the one who should be apologizing.
I didn't realize things could even go that bad. I'm glad we managed to get you in front of the meanest looking guy in my company. But that didn't last long before the nerves got to you. Quickest I've ever seen someone run, let me tell you.
And then I accidentally stepped on that horse's tail, so it started going wild and totally trashed the place. It'll probably take weeks for them to clean that up. Oh, you really did it this time, Bernie.
Try to cheer up a
Hey,
bit.
we all make mistakes. Water under the bridge, you know?
Yeah, thanks.
That aside, though, you still want to do something about your shyness, right? I can see why this is a bigger problem than your whole staying indoors thing. Your anxieties can be quite the hurdle to overcome.
You're right. But hey, I haven't been keeping to myself at all lately. Bernie's out in the open.
Nice.
Either way, now we know how things turn out when we try to force the issue. Looks like we're better off taking an incremental approach.
How's that work?
Well, we can start by having you hide nearby while I talk to someone you're afraid of.
That could work.
And, I don't know, if the conversation gets interesting, maybe you can come out and join in?
I'm not going to care whether it's interesting or not. It doesn't matter if they're serious or boring or the most fascinating person in the world. All I care about is that they don't scare me.
Yeah, I guess that's gonna be tough to manage on its own, huh?
Well, maybe the incremental approach won't actually be as hard as we think.
Really? How do you figure?
I mean, I did used to think you were pretty terrifying. But with all this stuff we've been doing together, I've actually gotten used to you.
Bernie, you think everyone that you interacted with was scary at some point. Except for Eloise.
And now I'm not really shy around you, am I?
That's great. Wait, she was afraid of me?
Not exactly flattered to hear that, but, well, I guess I'll just be glad I don't scare you anymore. Sounds like spending time with someone is the key. which means we'll just have to toss you straight into the deep end and see if you can swim.
No, not the deep end! I hate the deep end!
Fair.
Sorry, just messing with you. Anyway, here's hoping you and I can keep getting closer, Bernadetta.
Right.
That went to be a really fine one as well. Let's go and do Jiritzas so that we... Oh. Let's do Constance and Hoppy so we can get their like first units we recruited. And I would say the most... how do I put it? Black Eagle characters.
Constance, is that you? I don't think I've ever seen you train during the day.
Good day to you, though I fear my presence is as a storm cloud in an otherwise clear sky. My sincerest apologies for subjecting you to this wretched sight. I shall vacate the premises at once to spare you any further distress.
No, wait, don't go. Since you're here, why don't we train together? You're here because you're trying to achieve your dream, right?
Though it pains me to deny such kind words, of which I am truly unworthy. I am afraid my dream will likely never come to pass. This pathetic excuse for athleticism you see before you is nothing but a futile attempt to strengthen my frail body and stave off death. How could I possibly ask an exemplary warrior such as yourself to squander your time with one such as I?
Training so you don't die is as good a reason as any. I'd say that's why I'm doing it too. See? Our goals are the same, so there's no reason not to work together.
Well, since you have given it much more consideration than I deserve.
What a workout!
And now her mood has swapped because it
Indeed.
became nighttime.
To think my other side would be able to keep up with such rigorous training.
You okay, Constance?
Never better. In fact, I am just getting started. Are you leaving so soon?
She wants to go again? Let's do this.
All right, let's go again. But it's strange how you're suddenly so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Surprised you haven't caught on yet, Jess.
I surprise even myself sometimes. Making my dreams a reality takes effort, you know. I cannot allow something so trifling as exhaustion to stand in my way. Who knows
Maybe you
how long
should.
things would take if I did? Therefore, I shall spare no opportunity to train today. And tomorrow, all of Fodlan will behold my military prowess.
That's all well and good. But then why didn't you want to train before?
I told you there were extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, like the other mood.
Had I known you would respond in such a manner, I would have asked for your assistance much earlier. Oh, I just had a brilliant idea!
Uh-huh.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
We can train together and conduct magical experiments at the same time!
Oh, that could be bad.
You see, I've invented this particular spell that imbues the palms with a suction power that makes dropping one's weapon a hindrance of the past.
But I want to throw my weapons. Casually agree.
Sure, why not? I'll try anything once. Go for it.
Splendid!
Chess.
Let us begin, shall we?
One of your weapons or attacks is literally
One
throwing
side has
it.
an overabundance of confidence, while the other is clearly lacking it. Maybe the two balance each other out.
What are you blathering on about? Let us be on with it!
Alright. That was fine. Hoppy. Finish off the, what I consider to be the... Well, I should have used Manuela too. The Black Eagles.
Hey, Happy. You got a minute?
I have several. Need something?
So, I heard a little about your past, and I was wondering if you wouldn't mind telling me more about it.
I see. So now you know, huh?
Uh-huh.
Not the most pleasant story. What did you want to know?
I was thinking about how you asked all those questions about my mom.
Maybe some
And
relation
I
to Village.
realized you were probably worried I went through the same thing as you.
Yeah, that about sums it up. You do have those mysterious powers after all. When I was little, some strange lady kidnapped me. I became a test subject for her twisted experiments.
Kidnapped to the kingdom.
That's how I ended up with my condition, or whatever you want to call it. Not that it's life-threatening.
Safe to say my mom never did anything like that. I'm pretty sure I'd remember it if she did. She didn't really talk much, but I don't think she had a deceitful bone in her body. Her life was kind of just what you'd expect out in a village like that. She did keep to herself, though. Thinking about it more, it's possible she was on the run from someone.
No.
That does sound a little worrying. But in any event, I'm glad you didn't go through what I did. And unlike me, it seems you've got a pretty good handle on your powers.
Ow. Sorry about that. That's right.
Yeah, I think I've gotten the hang of them for the most part. But that still doesn't make them safe.
True.
One day that sword might overtake me, and I'll turn into a monster. Like something out of a fairy tale.
If that ever happens, I'll just sigh, and you'll come running.
Eh.
Then me and all your old friends would put you out of your misery.
No.
Now that's a real fairy tale ending.
Maybe not. You happy?
Oh, that won't give me nightmares at all. But if it ever came to it, I think that's how I'd like to go.
Bye, my friends.
Mercenaries need to use every weapon and tactic at their disposal. Maybe flinging these powers around isn't such a good idea, but right now, I need to do whatever I can to stay alive. Now honestly, I should probably take a page out of your book and only use them as a last resort. I think that's what makes you pretty incredible, Happy. You've got this power right there, but choose not to use it.
I think that means I just gave up. You're way more amazing because you're still trying. No doubt about it.
She's the amazing one.
No, you're the amazing one. And you can't tell me otherwise.
No, you're
I don't
awesome.
even know what we're talking about anymore. Anyway, was that all? 'Cause I feel like I need to move.
Yeah, thanks for talking with me. You going to train?
Yep. Figure it couldn't hurt to put in a little effort. You should come too if you're free. I hope to see you there.
Come to think of it. Experiments, huh? What did that dream even mean?
Am I missing something about a dream here? But anyways, last one here, Manuela. And then I would officially
Another
say
rough night, Manuela?
the original Black Eagles crew done.
You could stand to learn some manners, you know. I had a little too much to drink yesterday, that's all. More importantly, you saw me perform, right?
Yeah, I was at the inn. You really do have a beautiful voice. I was impressed.
I told you so. But was it just my voice you were impressed with?
Well, I mean, when you were singing in front of everyone, you looked stunning.
Are you hitting on me?
Is that how you always are when you perform for the people in town?
Only when you're watching.
Please, in their dreams, maybe. Yesterday was a special occasion because you were there. We had a deal, remember?
Yes. Hush money.
You haven't told anyone, right? About what I said in my sleep and such?
No, not so.
Nope, not one peep to anyone. Not even about the dream where you got dumped.
Shh! Don't go shouting about it now.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with you, even when you are hungover.
Really?
Oh, that's
It makes you
first.
seem like a laid-back, mature woman. Just another interesting side of you. One day you're a physician saving lives, and the next you're a warrior on the battlefield. I like all your sides.
Like, you say?
What does that entail?
It's more like I can't take my eyes off you. All the more so now, since I've seen you sing and all. You have all these different sides that come together to form a complete person. Maybe that's what draws me in. It's like, which one is the real Manuela?
Well, they're both is.
Of course, the real me is the majestic diva shimmering in the spotlight.
Uh-huh.
If only. I'm not that delusional. Those days are long gone. Apparently, I've reached the age where I must take comfort in the glories of yesteryear.
Maybe we shouldn't?
Do you really think so? I think you're probably way more attractive now than when you were all famous.
Well, that's a solid gold pickup line. If only you were a handsome gentleman instead.
Huh? Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Anyone would find you captivating is all.
I like the way you think. Maybe you and I could sit down and plan out my future together. Actually, how does tonight sound?
Oh, I've got some stuff I gotta do tonight. Sorry, maybe another time.
Oh, really? Fine, we'll save it for another day. It'll give us more time to talk anyway. Just don't blow me off, okay? Or you'll be sorry.
Ah.
That was a joke, right? Manuela? Right?
Good delivery. There we go. Let's hop over to... Oh, jeez. There are some I still haven't finished. Let's jump over to the Blue Lions crew, which isn't a lot if we include Yuri in it. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, Ash, please be happy.
It's been a while since we sent that letter.
Oh, yeah!
We
Oh,
still
yeah.
haven't received a response.
We were sending a letter to find out about maybe something going on with her Chess's mother. And then the question come, could they even read at all in that village?
Yeah. We know the village chief got it, though.
Oh, the village exists?
And we know he read it. The soldier who delivered it
And he
confirmed
can
as
read.
much.
But he never wrote back. I wonder why.
Hard to say. Maybe he just doesn't want to get involved. And maybe he doesn't remember us. Part of me almost wonders if my mom didn't make him promise not to tell me anything. Not that I have any proof she'd do that.
Express your disappointment, brush it
It's
off.
fine, honestly. If he's not gonna respond, then it's probably just a dead end.
And you're okay leaving it be?
I mean, yeah, I want to know more about my mom, but it's not the end of the world if I can't. You had to give up learning about your parents too, right?
I did, but
No matter what kind of past my mom had, she'll always be my mom, and I'll always be me. I know that she put every bit of herself into raising me, and that's what matters. There's nothing more important than that in my book.
you're right. Whatever your parents did before they had you, and wherever they are now, they'll always be your parents.
Glad you understand. And hey, not knowing the truth lets me make up all sorts of stories about her in my head.
Oh, You mean like imagining she was actually a high-ranking noble, forced into obscurity?
Not a bad idea, but not totally original either. I was thinking more along the lines of a legendary knight, known throughout every inch of Fodlan. Or maybe a mysterious adventurer who came from somewhere far beyond its borders.
That would be incredible if it were true, and it would certainly explain why she was so knowledgeable. Still, I'm sorry I couldn't help you in the end.
It's all good, Ash. Without you, I never would have spent all this time thinking about my mom and who she really was. So even though we came up empty-handed, I'd say the journey itself was entirely worth it.
Jeez, this is a beefy one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should probably get going. Just remembered I've got a huge to-do list and not nearly enough time to do it. See ya!
Huh? I could have sworn I saw the commander here a moment
Oh,
ago.
is it gonna be the letter?
Oh, you just missed them. I can take a message if you want, though.
In that case, please deliver this letter.
Oh, you don't. You can't do that to me. That was really good support. I'm impressed. Damn it.
That should be everything in its place now.
And high time we took a break, if you ask me. Lugging all those boxes was hard work. Hey, why don't you join me for a meal? Might be nice to head into town for once.
I'm not that hungry just yet, though. Oh, I've got it. If you'd like, we could have a tea party. I have a cache of delicious treats we can eat as well.
Sure, I guess I could go for some tea. Where'd that idea come from, though?
Well, I received some sugar recently as a gift from one of the soldiers I mended back to health. I used it to bake the most wonderful confections. I'd love for you to try them.
Huh, that does sound good. And a little something sweet once in a while never hurt anyone.
Then we're settled. Give me just a moment, I'll get everything ready.
Whoa,
for candy.
these are incredible. I've never had anything quite like them before.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm particularly happy with how those turned out.
It does actually taste kind of familiar, though. Almost like the snack my mom used to make.
Really? You don't say.
Yeah, I was raised in this little village off in the mountains, absolutely surrounded by nature. Sometimes, Mom would go out and gather fruit from the trees, then bake things with them.
There's nothing better than a dessert made with fresh fruit. I love them myself. You can knead them into dough and bake them, or preserve them in honey so they can be enjoyed the whole year round.
My mom's stuff was never quite as fancy as the things you make, but they were special in their own way. And even though we didn't have them too often, just one hint of that flavor, and it's like I'm a kid again. Guess they were just that good.
It's wonderful you have that memory to look back on. I can tell the time you spent with your mother was very precious to you.
For sure. Though I don't remember it too well anymore.
Can I ask you something? Do you ever wish you could return to the past? To those days with your mother?
It's a nice thought. There's no point in living the past. It's a nice
It would
thought.
be great to go back if I could, yeah. We'd have so much more to talk about now that I'm older. But the past is the past. My mom is gone, and there's nothing I can do to change that.
Yes. Yes, I suppose you're right.
Hey, what's wrong? Was it something I said?
Oh, my apologies. I must have been daydreaming for a moment there. Here, try this one next. I made it specially to pair with the tea.
Sure. Thanks.
That was a fun one. I feel like most of the supports that's gonna have most substance are the A supports, because I feel like the C supports are fine, the B supports are eh, and then I'm really invested in the A supports. Now what about someone who doesn't have a B support?
Yuri's still not back yet? It's been 5 days. What's this? A letter? Not like him to leave his stuff lying around. I wonder if it says anything about where he went.
Probably more about what he's
Just
doing.
sitting there. Can't hurt to take a peek, right? Are you well? Eating enough? I worry about you all the time. Thank you for sending money always. I want to see you soon.
Or is that from his family?
Huh. Is this letter for Yuri? It's got a different name on it.
Oh?
Having fun?
Ah, hi!
Yuri! Wow, you really snuck up on me. When did you get back?
Just now. More importantly, why are you snooping through things that don't belong to you? Choose your next word carefully if you don't want them to be your last.
Apologize for reading the letter. I'll
I'm
apologize.
sorry. It was just sitting out in the open, so I thought it'd be okay if I read it. I was worried you weren't coming back.
Never mind. I can't imagine you'd have a reason to pry into my affairs. I suppose this is what I get for taking off without telling anyone. And for being so careless.
Yeah, I thought you'd be the last person to leave something like this behind. You must have left in a hurry.
You could say that.
Ask about the letter. Mind my own
I
business.
see. Well, it must have been important. But I know it's none of my business.
I appreciate your concern, but I don't mind. The letter is from my mother. She's always been prone to illness, but lately her condition has grown worse. I try to visit whenever she asks to see me. Obviously, there are times when I can't go, but I have to take all the time I can get, right? I never know which visit will be my final chance to see her.
I understand. Once someone's gone, they're gone. But wait, the name on that letter, is that your real name? So Yuri's an alias and you're really
No need to say it. And yes, what parent would call their kid by an alias anyway?
Fair point. It's a nice name, though. Why hide it?
Wow.
In my line of work, it pays to have more than a few names. And don't go telling anyone about this. You won't like to find out what happens if you do.
Promise to keep it a secret.
I won't. Promise. And if I do slip up, you're free to do your worst.
Please don't.
In any case, I am sorry for prying. And for what it's worth, I hope your mom gets better soon.
If it were easy to cure, then we wouldn't even be talking about it. But I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless.
That's an intriguing one. Sadly, I can't find the conclusion to it yet, so let's go with Lawrence. Over to Golden Deer.
Tough fight, eh, Lawrence? I'm just glad we both made it back safe.
Indeed. Without your help, I surely would have met a noble warrior's demise. Thankfully, my admirers will have no reason to weep today. And for that, you have my gratitude.
Well, that took a weird turn.
Do you remember what I said before about the order of things in Fodlan?
How could anyone forget? Totally forgot.
Huh. Can't seem to remember. What's all this about?
You surely cannot be serious. I told you that it was a noble's duty to protect the common folk.
And I call that bullshit.
However, were a commoner to take a lethal strike in a noble's stead, then we have failed in our duty. I was dangerously close to suffering that fate myself.
Okay, sure. But you would have died if I hadn't saved you.
And in doing so, you put yourself in a most precarious position. Your life could have been forfeit.
Mm-hmm.
Risking my neck to save others is just what I do.
Yes, well, you were lucky to keep it unsevered this time. Mark my words, there is no reason a commoner should ever put their life on the line for a noble. I couldn't bear the thought of someone of your status sacrificing their life for the sake of my own. So do not do that again. Are we clear?
Apologies for causing him trouble. Point out how ungrateful he sounds.
That's how you repay the person who saved your life? I expected better from you, Lawrence.
No, that's not it. Truly, you have my sincere thanks. I simply want you to understand my position.
Uh-huh.
All right, I take it back. No need to get all riled up. You're a real piece of work, you know that?
Me? How rude! I will have you know I'm quite serious about this matter.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but we can end up in that situation 100 times, and I'll save you every single one.
Astonishing. You fail to understand me after all this.
God, this is so dumb and I love it.
I get what you're going for, but I've got my own way of doing things. Mercenary or no, I know there's nothing worse than watching an ally die right in front of me. Especially if they're weaker than me. I just can't help but jump in to save them, you know?
Weaker? You cannot possibly mean me.
Oh,
hey,
Jesus.
You're the one who almost kicked the bucket out there. If you don't want people rushing in to save you, then you've just gotta get stronger.
I must admit, your argument is sound. I cannot refute it. In that case, I ask you keep your eyes on me from this day forth. I shall endeavor to improve myself. The day my strength surpasses yours, my noble personage will save your commoner skin and restore the proper order to this world. Yes, this shall solve all of Fodlan's problems.
This is why nobody believes me when I say he's actually a decent guy.
No, what do you mean? Like, again, I get what he means and what he wants, but the hypocrisy and how condescending he sounds when he's trying to get his point across is beautiful. Anyways, Raphael. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. 7. I'm reaching the end. It's going to be an hour with just chess.
Hey, how's it going? You been getting enough food?
Definitely. I'm eating way better than I was back in my mercenary days.
You didn't eat so good, huh?
I spent most of my time moving from place to place, so I had to manage on my own. I'd just fling whatever I could get my hands on into a pot. Can't say any of it ever tasted too great.
Wow, I'm surprised you can even live like that. And you never stayed at an inn?
How could you live without tasting good
Sometimes,
food?
if one happened to be nearby and I had a little extra money lining my pockets. But I never really felt like the food there was any better.
Sounds like you were at all the wrong places then. Nothing fun about a bad meal, I always say. That's why I want my inn to be known far and wide for its delicious food. I was actually hoping to do some cooking out here too, so I could hone my craft. But I don't think it's going so good. You want to know why?
Probably because he was clumsy? Probably because he thinks everything tastes good.
If I had to guess, it's because you think everything tastes good no matter what.
Hey now, I know the difference between regular old grub and the kind of stuff that gets your mouth watering.
Like meat and good meat?
See, all the meat and fish we've got in the pantry is preserved. When you're not working with the fresh stuff, nothing you make's gonna have people hollering for more.
You think? There are dishes from all over the world that use ingredients that are on the verge of going bad.
Mm-hmm.
You sure that isn't because they don't have a choice?
Originally,
I'm
yes.
no expert, but I've heard it can make a nice cut of meat even more savory depending on how you prep it.
Like, personally, I really like dried fish. And I think it tastes good. It was made that way because it makes it last for really long. But I don't think most Norwegians don't need to make fish preserved for that long. But it's good, so we still do it.
Huh. Maybe we can learn some more if we ask someone who's from one of those places.
Uh-oh. We're gonna
Not
ask.
to mention, there are other ways of preserving food, too.
You mean, besides dumping salt on everything?
Okay, my fish example now. Yeah.
I'm sure you know about smoking your food, right? Things will keep for even longer if you do that after you cure them.
Back to fish. Smoked salmon. Fantastic.
Yeah, but I heard that makes meat all smoky and gross. Kinda defeats the point if you ask me.
Not just meat gets smoked. Fish too. Which doesn't eliminate your points.
I think it depends on how you do it and what kind of wood you use. Apparently, it's really good if you do it right.
Wow, you sure know a lot about this stuff.
My mercenary days showed me more about the world than I could have ever imagined. I only really remember bits and pieces, though.
Come on, don't be so modest. I can't wait to get back in the kitchen with these new ideas you gave me. Hey, speaking of ideas, you want to help me think up some recipes with the stuff we've got here?
I'm not so sure me and cooking mix. But yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a shot.
That's the spirit. I know we'll come up with some feast-worthy food if we just put our heads together.
Wait, hold on. You cook food so much, Jess! I'm kind of missing it, Ethan, but you're a good cook. Well then, time for 2 Eggnog Supports.
Looks like he's at it again. How's the book, Ignots?
Could you please not surprise me like that?
Sorry. So, you got more books, huh? They look expensive.
They were tucked away in my family's storeroom. I had my brother send them to me. We're a merchant family. All the books here are technically meant to be for sale. But they've gone unsold for years now, so he sent them, without telling my father.
Ask about Eggnog's brother. Father.
I take it your old man is pretty strict?
Not exactly, but he does take his business very seriously.
No.
My father is quite set in his ways. At least my brother is easy to talk to. And he listens to even my strangest requests. That's why I tend to go to him for everything. Wonder if he feels sorry for me since I became a knight for our family's benefit.
So you didn't really want to do it then?
Well, no, that's not... I did it because I wanted to help them. Now that I'm a knight for House Gloucester, I've been able to make a lot more connections with the nobility. If I use that to help my family's business, then I'm perfectly happy with where I am.
If you say so. What kind of books did you borrow?
A bunch of travel journals and collections of letters from far-off places. No matter how painful life may be, it all fades away when I read these books and imagine myself traveling.
Wait, did you just say painful? I knew you weren't happy. What you really want to do is travel around and paint all the scenery you like, don't you?
What? How do you know that?
Because you're transparent as fuck.
Exactly hiding it. You've got books on painting techniques, preparing pigments, and all that kind of stuff right here.
And your attack is painting based.
Yes. The truth is, I love painting. I know the world holds all these wondrous sights that I can't even begin to imagine. If only I could see them for myself and capture them on canvas. I used to dream of doing that. But things are different now, you know?
Uh-huh.
I
How
don't
so?
regret becoming a knight, and I didn't do it just for my family's sake. I want to do my part to shape Fodlan's future. It's my responsibility as much as anyone else's. That
That's
conviction
fair.
has only grown with every battle. Ah, that must have sounded so arrogant. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassing myself.
I actually like him saying this.
All right. If you're gonna make it that clear you don't regret your choice, then I'll stop pestering you.
Like, I like how he was like, Pola's future is more important than my dream, and I'm not ashamed of saying that. Because that, like, shows his conviction to the cause. Which is admirable.
But this war is gonna end one day. Why
True.
not keep your dreams alive for when it does?
Maybe I will.
Yeah, that was a really good B support. And we're gonna see the conclusion right now.
Hey, do you have a moment?
What's going on, Ignots? Finally leaving on that journey to see the world?
There's still conflict
No,
going
not
on.
that. In fact, we're not going to talk about my dreams today.
What about yours?
You always ask questions about me, but you never talk about yourself. So, I thought it was high time I asked about you. You certainly have piqued my curiosity.
Crack a joke. Nod. How does it feel getting the, how the turntables? I'm tired, it's late.
What? You got a crush on me or something?
Huh? No! I mean, I like you, but not like, you know, in that special way.
Shut down!
I'm joking, don't worry. No need to get all flustered. So, what did you want to know?
Well, since I told you about my dreams, I wanted to know about yours.
My dreams, huh?
Living an easygoing mercenary life, never get much thought.
I think being a mercenary and going wherever the wind takes me sounds pretty good.
That has been consistent with what you want.
You still want to be a mercenary? Even after the war's over? But we'll finally have peace. You won't have to fight anymore.
Well...
Yeah, but that's all I've been doing since even before the war started. I'd just be going back to my old way of life. Killing monsters, guarding villages. There's still plenty of work even in times of peace. And who's to say some enemy from outside Fodlan won't show up?
That may be true, but isn't it difficult having to constantly fight all the time?
Every job's got its tough parts, but the mercenary lifestyle's a perfect match for my personality. I can't even imagine settling down and establishing roots somewhere.
Yeah, that does sound like you.
Does it now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just meant that you don't really seem like the kind of person who wants to stay tied down.
You think so? Well, whatever the case, I plan on earning my keep with my sword. As long as my body holds out, that is. What about you, Ignots? You gonna stay a knight once this thing's over?
Say no!
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But if my duties as a knight were to end at some point, then I guess that's when I could make my dreams a reality. if I were to do that, do you think you'd like to come with me as my bodyguard?
Hey.
You do realize I'll be Fodlan's most sought-after mercenary by then. I'm not gonna come cheap.
Oh, really? Then I'll have to work extra hard to save up some money. Because I really do want to travel with you.
I can't be
You do
everywhere.
that, Ignots. I'll be counting down the days till then.
Just an Eggnog playing the Ace board. That was nice. Going a bit into chess as well. But that side of chess has kind of been explored a lot. Lysithia!
May I speak with you a moment?
Oh, yeah. I was just about to take a break. You need something?
Our relationship has been strained for a while, so I thought it was time to resolve our issues.
You're the one having an issue with me.
Has?
Yes, at least I felt that way ever since the incident.
Pastry incidents? The ghost incidents?
Oh, you mean that time I found you hiding out and chowing down on some pastries? I didn't think anything about that. And I didn't tell anyone either.
No, not that. Well, yes, there was that, but there was another, more defining incident. Remember?
Are you talking about the time I treated you like a kid and you got all mad?
Maybe.
Yes, of course that's what I'm talking about.
That happened a long time ago. Has it really been
It
eating
did.
at you ever since?
Well, I mean, I was unable to maintain my composure and got rather aggressive with you over trivial details. I kept telling myself that I had to apologize, but I could never bring myself to do it. But now, I'm sorry.
Well, I'd like to apologize too. I should have been more careful with what I said. Why does being called a kid upset you so much? If you don't think of yourself that way, then any comments of the kind should be like water off a duck's back.
Wow.
I'm a tiny bit younger than everyone else, and it doesn't help that I'm shorter too. Plus, I do have somewhat of a baby face.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't look that young to me.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Now that I really look at you, I think you're a very pretty young woman. You act real mature, too.
Oh no, I'm not really.
But most importantly, your skill at commanding troops puts all the real adults to shame.
Hold on. Real adults? So what you're saying is that I'm ultimately still just a child?
Damn it.
Ah, crud, I misspoke. What I meant was...
There you go, making excuses again. Now I know exactly what you think of me.
This conversation's going sideways again, isn't it?
Maybe.
It would seem so. Though, I suppose forgiving you would be the mature thing to do.
Hey, there you go. See? You are a real grown-up, Lysithia.
Something about this still rubs me the wrong way, but... Oh, fine. I just ask that you keep treating me like the adult I am.
Uh-huh. You know, I gotta check. How old are you again in this timeline? Oh, you are adults! Well, like, depending on who you ask, you're adults, but, you know. Anyways, 4 more to go now. Only 1 more really being Golden Deer and the rest being others.
Today's battle wasn't half bad. Minus that close call, I guess. I tell you, when I charged ahead and saw all those archers waiting for me, a single thought flashed through my mind. Not how I'd like to go, but that's life, I guess. I was sure I was done for.
Nerd.
What are you talking about? It was so windy, there was no way they could have gotten a clean shot at you.
He doesn't know that.
You completely wiped them out. Are you telling me you didn't plan it that way?
I mean, I knew a breeze was blowing, but still.
You're right. You would have been Balthus-sized target practice if the wind died down. But you bet your life that it wouldn't, right?
Right?
That's something only you could pull off. I never would have taken those odds.
So, wait.
It was all lady luck, pal. Pure and simple. Where's this coming from, anyway? I thought you hated all that gambling on life and death stuff.
So, it's what they're trying to imply that Balthus has good luck when he's gambling on non-material stuff, like his life and taking chats and stuff like that. He lucks out on those, but as soon as it comes to money or favors or anything like that, he's shit out of it.
I did, but you're living proof that it can have a place on the battlefield. You roll the dice and get the job done. Can't argue with success. I have to accept that your way actually works. All I can do is hope you win your bets every time.
Thanks for saying that, but what happened today wasn't calculated at all.
Mm-hmm.
Things were going great, then I got carried away and made a stupid mistake. It just so happened that the wind was blowing the right way. Otherwise, I'd be dead.
Really? Uh-huh, sure.
Quit pulling my leg. There's no way that was a coincidence.
It was a complete fluke, honest. That's why I was gonna tell you I've learned my lesson. That I'm done gambling with my life.
Really? That's the best idea you've ever had.
But since you admitted my way has merit, I think I'll keep rolling the dice. I gotta do what works for me, you know? Can't let one close call make me lose my nerve.
Wait, what? Isn't that what almost got you killed today? I take it back. You are definitely gonna die. Please stop.
Nope. Too late. Warrior doesn't go back on their word after all. We might have had some misunderstandings along the way, but what's important is that you learned to accept me for who I am, right?
In that case, what about you saying you weren't gonna bet your life on this stuff anymore? A warrior doesn't go back on their word after all.
That doesn't count. I only said I was gonna tell you.
Accept defeat. Keep arguing.
What kind of backwards logic is that? You absolutely said it. So this whole warrior code thing applies to you too.
I don't have a clue what you mean. It's not even remotely the same. Anyway, we can butt heads about it later. We gotta go celebrate our victory, right?
Fine, I can live with that. It's a tough job, but someone's got to talk some sense into you.
And by God, it's gonna have to be me. That was fine. Shamir's C support.
I should call it a day. You sticking around?
Nah, I should finish up too. Thanks, Shamir. I have to work out new unit formations for our next battle.
You're pretty conscientious for a mercenary. That's rare in our profession. Well, sorry to cut and run. Good luck with all that.
It's as good as done. Some help would be nice.
If you're really sorry, you could always give me a hand sometime. It's my responsibility, but that doesn't mean I have to do it alone.
Fair enough. Come find me next time I'm off duty.
Really? Thanks. Dependable as always, Shamir. Honestly, you're so mature for your age.
Well, what does
You
that
always
mean?
seem so composed, almost wise, even when we're just chatting.
I wouldn't say wise. Save that for the higher-ups. I just mind my own business. Plenty of mercenaries do the same.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
You know, you're pretty easygoing yourself, even by merc standards. Have you been on your own for long? Didn't you belong to a mercenary group at some point?
Yeah, but I bounced around a lot. Let's see, the company I was with the longest was... probably Burling's mercenaries, the last one I joined. But then we clashed with Gerald's band, and I was the only one who survived.
There isn't a mercenary who hasn't lost someone or something along the way.
Fair.
But losing trusted comrades stays with you.
Yeah. Captain Burling, Getz, Lasley. We were a tight-knit group, if a little rough around the edges. I would have been content staying with them till the end.
But fate had
Maybe
other
your
plans.
experience is what's made you so pragmatic. It takes real strength to overcome past hardships and move on. That's what I think, anyway.
You know, you seem way more pragmatic than me. I wonder what made you that way.
Scary
You should know not to pry into a mercenary's past. But if the right moment comes, maybe I'll tell you about it.
Ominous. Now for the final two. Gerald.
Oh, hey. You fishing too?
Yeah.
Ease up, kid. We're on the same side now, remember?
I know.
Doesn't make
Guess
it
I'm
easy.
just not used to it yet.
We're not getting paid to kill each other anymore. We can just sit here like normal folks and catch some fish.
For now.
You're a mercenary, right? For us, there's no such thing as friends or foes once that contract's paid.
Yeah, I know that too. You, don't remember me, do you?
Should I?
I used to run with Burling's mercenaries.
Burling. Ah, yes. That woman was an army unto herself.
Yeah, but you and your company wiped us out. My captain, my comrades.
Did
every
I
last
do
one
that?
of them died in that battle.
So that's what this is about. You have a grudge against me?
Had. No.
No, I don't. Wouldn't be much of a merc if I held a grudge against everyone I fought. But it was tough at the time. I really liked that scruffy crew. All of us got along, even the captain. They were the best group I'd ever been with. After what happened, I made myself a promise. I was gonna get stronger, and someday I would defeat you and the Ashen Demon.
And I have.
But we're allies now, so you're gonna have to let that go, huh?
Looks like it. But you know, part of me is relieved. I don't think I could have beaten the Ashen Demon anyway.
Well.
Hey now, what about me? Why are you saying you could take me?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, unless I try.
Mistakes were made.
By the way, for a regular guy just catching some fish, you haven't even got your hook on.
Yeah, well, these old mitts aren't exactly made for tying tiny knots.
Give it here. I'll do it.
You know how?
Not half bad, kid. Thanks.
People call you a legendary mercenary, but you're a lot less dexterous than I imagined.
Legendary is what they call dead people. I'm still alive and kicking, you know.
How'd I heard that before?
Hey, and about what happened with Burling. I'm sorry. The whole thing was just two minor lords trying to get the better of each other.
Where have I heard that legendary quote before, being only used for dead people? can't recall. I've definitely heard it recently, though.
If Burling hadn't come for us, we could have avoided all the bloodshed. But she came roaring in, yelling that she would take us down and make a name for herself. My kid couldn't afford to hold back at that point. I know that doesn't make it better, but I hope it helps.
What's done is done. You were just doing your job. I know that.
An interesting one. Now let's see how it ends.
Well, this is great.
Having some trouble there, Gerald?
Fishing again?
I wanted to replace the clasp on my gauntlet, but I can't quite get the blasted thing to stay.
Here, let me try.
Oh, look at that. You got a real knack for these things. Thanks, kid.
I'm surprised you've survived this long with those ham hands.
Being a good mercenary isn't all about dexterity, you know?
Well,
Besides,
I feel like some of it
you've
is.
lived as long as I have, your body just doesn't work as well as it used to.
Oh?
Trust me.
Oh?
You don't look that old to me.
You can't judge a book by its cover. I might not look it, but I'm practically an ancient tome. Not to mention I've lived pretty hard. Might just be a gut feeling, but I've started feeling like the goddess might call me to her side before long.
Come on, it's not like you're at death's door. Besides, you really think the goddess would be calling you of all people?
Yeah, yes.
You don't hold anything back, do you? If the goddess won't have me, then I'll just have to make do in hell.
Oh, Jesus, that's a
Do you
line.
have any regrets if you died right now?
Not one. Except maybe living too long.
What about leaving your kid behind?
Can't say I wouldn't be worried, especially because that kid isn't exactly normal.
No.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Violet isn't usually powerful, isn't very emotional, thinks out loud a lot. Isn't very emotional.
I gotta say, your kid's always real calm and aloof. Not one for emotion, huh?
You're telling me. Born without so much as a peep, that one. Just
I mean,
a personal quirk, I guess. Makes it tough to find friends, though. In that sense, I'm glad we're here. There's tons of young folks around. And maybe the kid'll take a shine to you, since you're both mercenaries.
Yeah.
Who knows? I've been hoping we could talk more at least.
Is that so? I'm glad to hear you say that. Takes a load off my mind.
Now you really sound like a dad.
I was never much of a parent, but I do worry all the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we were meant to end up on the same side. Would you do me a favor and look after my kid?
When you put it that way, it really does sound like you're about to die.
Jeez.
Hey, it's possible. Tomorrow's never guaranteed in this line of work.
That is true.
I meant what I said. Can I count on you?
Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna refuse a dying man's wish after all.
I really like that one. And with that, Jess is done with all of her supports. There's still a lot left. I did not end with Manuela. I'm gonna guess Balthus or Yuri is the one I'm gonna end on then. Edelgard. I have 2 with Hubert, 1 with Ferdinand, 1 Bernie, 1 Doro, 1 Petra, 1 Monica, and probably 1 Balthus. Yeah. God, there's a lot of supports in this one.
And what of the Archbishop's movements?
She has established herself in Camulus, a town south of Ferdinand, and shows no indication of leaving. The Knights of Ceres occasionally go to the front, but the Archbishop appears content to remain behind.
A shame, really.
Well, we expected as much. It's unlikely that we'll have the opportunity to eliminate her without mounting a full-scale invasion of Blaidd territory.
We should have surrounded Garrick Mach and torn the place apart when we had the chance, no matter the cost to us. We may have squandered our greatest chance by not doing so.
Hubert, that idea came from Lord Arundel. That is to say, Tallis. And it's an impractical idea, at that. One based on unreliable experimental assets that had never been tested in battle. Besides, after breaking ties with him and his allies, we lacked the military capability to carry out an operation on such a scale.
That is true.
On both counts, Your Majesty. We took such bold steps to excise those who slither in the dark from the Empire, knowing full well the price we'd pay. Though it meant allowing the Archbishop to escape our grasp, I would venture to say that we ultimately came out in a better position because of it.
Unquestionably so. I'm certain Tallis and his ilk are dreaming up some villainy as we speak. But we're not beholden to them anymore. We are no longer complicit in their schemes.
I could not care less what I am or am not complicit in, Lady Edelgard. But I agree, you must not be. For your own sake and the sake of the Empire, it is vital that you remain unsullied and unencumbered.
When I proposed such drastic changes to our plan 2 years ago, I did so against your best counsel. And yet you made it work every step of the way. None of us would be where we are today if not for you, Hubert. I cannot thank you enough.
This is quite unlike you, Your Majesty.
I don't...
Are you feeling unwell?
I'm not used to flattery.
I assure you I feel ever appreciated. There is no need for you to speak such words aloud. Or perhaps this is meant to soften the blow of yet another drastic change of course?
Nothing like that, I assure you. I simply want you to know how much you are valued. This path I walk, I cannot walk it without you. I'm only able to press onward because I have you to open the way. There will always be a place for you by my side.
Still doesn't know how to process it.
There are no changes you wish to inform me of? I must insist that you hide nothing from me.
What? But I just said I'm not... Hubert, are you truly so incapable of accepting a simple word of thanks?
Yes. Pin support level B. Let's go to A.
Hubert, what do you make of the Ashen Demon?
Oh, okay.
Aside from having proven to be both impossibly powerful and a constant thorn in our side.
They're right there.
A correction. Was a constant thorn
Never
in our
mind.
side. I must admit the little terror has put in some fine work for the Empire recently.
We're fortunate to have gained so powerful an ally.
Why do you bring this
Edelgard,
up,
don't hit
Your
on them.
Majesty?
They've
Is
been
there
here for like a
something on
month.
your mind?
I'm not entirely sure myself. My apologies, Hubert. Pay me no mind. Like as not, I am overthinking the situation.
Surely you realize that telling me to pay this no mind only gives me greater cause for concern?
I didn't mean to worry you. I'm simply having trouble putting this feeling into words. I just felt... I don't know. As if something was drawing me to the Ashen Demon.
Oh my god, you are into her
I
already.
wonder, could it be the influence of my crest?
Your crest? Now I am truly becoming concerned.
Forget it. Whatever it means, we don't need to find out right away. We've a war to win first.
That's actually an interesting, like, notion, because of, like, the Crest of Flames and so this.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Which would also explain why she was insistent on
long
trying
as
to
you
get her to
realize
join.
I will be taking the liberty to investigate this most thoroughly.
Even in non-Black Eagle routes.
I thought you might say as much. Do as you must. Honestly, Hubert, you never change, do you? When I emerged from beneath the palace all those years ago, you acted as though nothing had happened. Do not worry, you said. I took the liberty to investigate while you were indisposed.
For the record, my blood was boiling. However, as there were others present, I kept still my tongue.
Eggnog, I give that impression a 2 out of 10. After hearing both this, no one is gonna compare.
I could not risk showing my anger, lest they find a way to turn it against you. My role to play is the cold, crafty, unreadable servant. I am happy with the casting, so let us leave it at that.
I'm certain you are. But just once I'd like to see our roles reversed.
Your Majesty, you cannot possibly be serious.
Not in the slightest. I'm well aware I am not cut out for the kind of work you do.
Nonsense. There's nothing beyond your capability. That said, I prefer you best when you are the one in charge. Command me as you see fit. No matter how daunting or impossible the task may be, I will come through every time without fail.
Thank you, Hubert. It's good to know that I can always rely on you.
Wash. That was a nice one. Now, about your father, Ferdinand.
You're in better spirits than I expected. You look at least 2 shades less pale than you did after the battle at Fort Mercius.
Oh, but Your Majesty does enjoy telling it like it is. Would it be the end of you to show a little compassion? No. Then you would just be pitying me. I do not know which is worse. Regardless, I am well. Thank you for noticing. Ask of me what you will, and I shall see it done.
I don't need anything from you, Ferdinand. Or at least not in that way. Just give me your usual effort, and that should be enough to get us through the upcoming battle.
You can count on me. Point me at a foe, and I will dispatch them with all haste. I cannot afford to die now, or my page in the history books will end in a most horrid fashion. Plagued by the guilt of striking down his father, Ferdinand welcomed the cold embrace of death on the battlefield. Or some such hogwash. Yes, I killed my father. And I would be a liar if I said it did not wound me nearly beyond reckoning. But I will not hate myself for it. It was the correct choice. I did the right thing.
Well, don't feel too bad. Imagine what they would write about me if we lose this war. Despite her futile attempts to wrest power from the Prime Minister, the Emperor's people turned against her and her life ended in abject failure. The end. I know exactly what the world would say of me, which is why I have no intention of losing.
Fair. Now, I can't help but think that this music that is playing right now is not fitting for the conversation at hand.
I will not permit such a thing to happen. If ever my life were to be weighed against yours, I would gladly perish in ignominy if it meant keeping you alive and well. What? Did I say something amusing?
No, it's just... You're so strong, so proud. If all the world's nobles were like you, there would be no need to dismantle the aristocracy. That's all. I know it's a futile thought.
Nothing is futile. Though even I must admit it seems to be so, given the circumstances. Still, you vastly underestimate the potential of the aristocracy. For generations, our ancestors worked hand in hand, sharing knowledge and wisdom to administer our great land and ensure it was well protected. They acquired knowledge of the region and developed good policies to rule it. And in doing so, they earned the trust of the people. We cannot throw away everything they have built. It would be folly.
Of course not.
Would it, though?
What do you take me for? I'm dismantling the aristocracy, not their legacy. The common folk will take up the torch and carry on.
Do you
That's a good
believe
way of
they
putting
are
it.
ready? No matter how gifted they may be, they are only commoners. In order to replace the nobility, they need to be educated.
And educate them we shall.
Wait a moment. I see your plan now. You intend to establish a school. One that is not merely for nobles and wealthy merchant children, like the Officers' Academy once was. A school where anyone can enroll, regardless of wealth or standing, and get an education rivaling that of any noble.
Uh-huh.
Ferdinand?
Or
I
not.
cannot begin to guess where that idea sprung from. But this is exactly why I need you beside me as we shape the future of Adrestia.
You mean to say that you did not actually... So I was... Well, it is nice to be needed.
Yeah. I like that one. A bit weird in the tone with the music and all, but yeah. How about you two?
What is Talus plotting? Will the capital be alright? If another imposter... Who's there?
Lady Edelgard? Is that you?
This actually makes me more confused. This shows they can change the music mid-conversation, so why didn't they do that for Ferdinand and Edelgard?
Bernadetta? What are you doing here at this hour?
Oh, well, I was maybe sort of hoping to hole up here for a while. This is one of my go-to spots when I want to be alone.
In that case, I apologize for intruding.
Oh, it's really not a big deal or anything. Lady Edelgard? Is everything alright? You seem, well, kind of down. If something's bothering you, I'd be happy to listen. If you don't mind talking to me, I mean.
Thank you, but I wouldn't know where to begin. Once the Emperor starts rattling off her many woes, you're likely to be trapped here forever.
Actually, that isn't what I meant.
Then, what did you mean?
Do you remember that time you told me how my curse was lifted? And then you started to say that yours was too? Well, I've been worried that curse has been eating away at you the way mine did with me. Is that why you're here all alone in the middle of the night?
I wasn't
Can't
expecting
deny
you
it.
to see right through me quite so easily. But you're right. Something is eating at me. There is an enemy I thought I'd fought and beaten, which I believed freed me from my curse.
But...
Alas, that was wishful thinking. My enemy is still alive. And worse yet, he is not alone.
That sounds terrible. But I know how that feels. I've been struggling too. If I stay outside too long, I end up being seized by this panic that makes me want to hide away again. I guess I'm still learning how to deal with it.
That's how life is, Bernadetta. We all bear our scars, but the only thing we can do is keep going. The idea that nestling up to someone and being kind will make all of their pain disappear is nothing more than fantasy. That's simply not how such things work.
It's a mean old world, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that's no reason to despair. After all, what are we fighting for but a world in which people are no longer left with scars like yours and mine? A world in which the people who wish to stand out can do so, while those who remain on the sidelines have their choice honored as well. That is the future we're building together.
Do you really think we can do it? Because if you do,
Yes.
I'm going to fight right alongside you, and then celebrate by locking myself in my room.
You're already
I'd say
fighting.
That's perfectly acceptable, so long as you've taken care of the things you need to do.
Aww, but doing things is the hard part. Stop being so difficult, world.
That was fun. Now, I realize if I want this video out in a timely fashion, I actually will not have time to go through all of these. So I'll probably just go through Edelgard and upload this video like that, so, because it is 7 in the morning right now. And this stream happens in like 10 hours. No. 13 hours.
Interesting theory. I'll have to make a mental note of that.
Isn't it a bit late to be studying, Dorothea?
Uh-huh.
Hi there, Edie. Looks like I'm not the only one burning the midnight oil. You should get to bed. All-nighters are the bane of clear skin, you know.
I assume that also applies to you.
What can I say? You all work so hard, I figured I should dedicate myself to my studies. Especially when it comes to strategy and tactics. Those are real blind spots for me.
You would have had a chance to learn them if we'd remained at the Officers' Academy. I suppose you missed out on all sorts of experiences now that I think about it.
Edie, please.
No, wait. My decision and my actions are partly to blame for robbing you of those opportunities. I feel I owe you an apology for that.
You did what you thought was right. And anyway, it's not like any of us saw all these problems with the Kingdom and Alliance coming.
Yes, but...
Look, I admit I may have been a little sad when the Academy went on hiatus. I mean, I worked my tail off to get into that place. It was hard. Really hard.
Fair.
Oh, and when the school shut down, there went my best chance of finding Mr. Right. Or Miss.
I knew it was upsetting you. Dorothea, I am truly, deeply sorry.
Hold on, Edie. Let me finish. I was about to say that if we did stay at the Academy, you would have been terribly unhappy.
Oh yeah.
You'd have had all this gloom and uncertainty hanging over you about your father and the future of the Empire. I think it might have broken you.
A slight exaggeration, wouldn't you say?
For what it's worth, I'm glad you're free of that torment, and can now work towards building the world you envision. I like this new life working under you. It suits me.
Please don't say that. The part about you working under me, I mean.
You're working with me.
I like to think we work side by side and hand in hand. You're always a tremendous help to me. I consider you a dear friend, and I say that not just as the Emperor, but as a peer.
Thanks, Edie. Do you mind if I take that and run with it?
Yes.
Dorothea, dearest friend of the Emperor, has a really nice ring to it. I was fine with Dorothea the Mystical Songstress, but this new title has a real warmth and dignity thing going on.
In that case, allow me to meet you halfway. Henceforth, I shall be known as Emperor Edelgard, dearest friend of the songstress.
Oh, no, that'll never do. Because if you do that, it would make me dearest friend of the dearest friend of the songstress.
Well, we certainly can't have that. How about you just promise not to be a stranger,
Good compromise.
Whatever the rest of the world demands, I want the two of us to always be there for each other.
I would like that very much indeed.
Edgar Dirth, the A support. Yeah, I'm on the fence of like, the A supports here all around have been great. Now, 3 more. One of them being A support.
Lady Edelgard?
I'm sorry, Petra. Am I interrupting?
It is okay. I will soon be finishing. I am offering prayers to the spirits, so they will be guiding us to victory in battle.
Is this how you pray in Brigid? In Fodlan, we usually save such things for a chapel.
Yes. In Brigid, we are offering our prayers to the forests, the mountains, the skies, anywhere the spirits are dwelling. In Fodlan, the people are offering their prayers to the goddess. In this, we are differing. But we are the same, in hoping to live long and fight for what has meaning.
Yes, of course. Perhaps I shouldn't ask this, but is it not unwise for you to be risking your life here in Fodlan? You are the Queen of Brigid. Your people need you to return safely to them.
Yes, your words have truthfulness. If I am dying here on foreign soil, I am betraying my people. You gave me your promise to be releasing Brigid from its vassal relationship to the Empire. And if I die, your promise will be dying with me.
Yes, I suppose it would. If you died, I would have to renegotiate our terms with your successor. That wouldn't be an issue if she were as capable and reasonable as you. But would she be? And for the record, Petra, I don't want you to die. You are a dear friend.
Your words give me great happiness. But I am still content to be risking my life here in Fodlan.
As we get closer to cornering our enemies, there's no telling what kind of foul tricks they'll employ. Are you certain you don't wish to walk away from this? It could easily go awry after all.
I am knowing the danger, but I have done my deciding. I will not be turning my tail and running while you are standing and fighting.
I'm grateful, but unlike you, I cannot back down from this fight. This war is one of my own making.
And I am choosing to share it. If we lose, then we will lose. But I will not be having regrets. I will be fighting with you until the end of bitterness. That is the prayer I was offering.
Well, I'll do my best to avoid a bitter end. Regardless, you have my thanks, Petra. Your resolve humbles me, but also gives me strength.
You are the Emperor. I am the Queen. Our relationship is not one that is usual. Not everyone can be standing on equal feet with you. This is something only I can be doing. And so, I will continue standing by your side.
Let no one say the Queen of Brigid is not gracious and noble. But I do hope we never turn into a couple of stuffy royals who insist on doing everything by the book.
I have trust that you will never be letting that happen.
I think that's the first one A support I've been like, that's fine. Mainly because I feel like it's mostly rethreading the original A support. And Monica, though.
Ah, what a lovely breeze. Truly, there is nothing so liberating as the great outdoors.
Your Majesty, Hubert is looking for you. My apologies. I didn't realize you were resting.
I only stepped out for a bit of fresh air. I'll be ready to return shortly.
Oh no, please don't rush back on my account. I am more than happy to keep Hubert occupied in the meantime. Please, Your Majesty, enjoy yourself. I'll simply tell him I failed to find you. Ah, and are you cold? I can bring you a coat and some hot tea.
I appreciate the concern, Monica, but I'm quite all right. But while you're here, there is something I must tell you.
Why are you staring at me, Your Majesty? Is there something on my face?
I was only going to say how fortunate we are to have you with us. Those who slither in the dark had you in their clutches.
True.
In another world, we might have lost you to them forever.
Yes. It seemed they were only keeping me alive so they could use me for some kind of dark ritual. And I can only assume that would not have ended with me alive and well. You saved my life. I wish I could express what an honor it was to be personally rescued by the woman I've dedicated my entire life to.
That's kind of you to say, but I only did it because I needed the military leverage.
That doesn't matter. I'm serious when I say that the day you rescued me was the day I stopped simply idolizing you and decided you were the one for me.
In what way?
The one for you?
Yes.
The one true leader.
You risked your life to protect a lowly noble like me.
You need to understand the situation, Monica. I was fully prepared to sacrifice you if doing so would bring me even one step closer to achieving my goals. I had no intention of rescuing you until right before the opportunity presented itself.
Oh, but, why not?
I was under the impression that those who slither in the dark needed you quite badly. And as I required their strength to wage my war, I was prepared to look the other way. When we laid out our plans, your death was something we took as a given.
Well then.
All the same, you still chose to save me in the end. I don't care how you got to that decision, only that you did. You could have offered me up as a bargaining chip, but you chose not to. Instead, you closed that door just so I could be standing here today.
Monica, I
only get one life, and I can't tell you how lucky I am to share it with you. It is my destiny to walk beside you, and that makes me happier than you could ever know.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
That's a very interesting support, though. Because we know that to be ring true that Edelgard is willing to look the other way for Monica's death. Reluctantly, to be fair, but she's still willing. But it also shows that Monica is like, you still managed to make the decision that giving up that bargaining chip to make your life quote-unquote easier in that instance was not worth it in this scenario where the opportunity presented itself. Here's how the air support's gonna go. It also shows how uncomfortable Edelgard is with like taking the like, hey, you saved me, and not being just like, yeah, I did, you're welcome, and actually showing that she has remorse about considering not saving her.
Hey there, Your Majesty. Fresh off some new official business, huh? Don't you ever get a rest?
Yes. Thank you for your concern.
Huh? Why are you staring at... Hey, alright.
No, it isn't that. It most certainly is not that.
Mood whiplash?
I was just revising my opinion of you. Hubert made you out to be the greatest womanizer of our time. But you've been surprisingly well behaved.
I said I wouldn't hit on you, didn't I? Also, that could not sound more like Hubert. Anyway, you could have just taken my word for it.
I apologize for doubting you. Still, just because you haven't attempted to woo me doesn't guarantee you won't do so in the future.
Sure, but the thing is, you're not really my type. You're too smart, and dainty, and way too important. Wooing you would be like bringing a baguette to a sword fight. I know when I'm out of my league.
I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to take that.
Look, the only thing I want from you is a job. You pay well, and frankly, I could really use an army between me and the folks trying to kill me.
No.
We have had to bolster the camp's defenses because of all the trouble you keep attracting. So, yes, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
If it bothers you, let him through. I can watch my own back well enough. Save the cleverness and compassion for some other lunkhead.
I agree, my time could be better spent. Also, I'm not compassionate, merely hopelessly committed to my ideals.
Oh yeah?
I've set out to unite all of Bodlin. I've started a war over it. That means destroying any who oppose me and protecting all who stand with me.
That includes you.
If you believe in me and share my ideals, I will never abandon you. Even if you do happen to be a philandering hireling up to his neck in debt.
That was downright inspiring. Right up to the point where you insulted the stuffing out of me.
It looks so sad.
But hey, if your thing is looking out for people, I'm happy to be a spare set of eyes. Plus, you're a boss worth swinging these fists for. I could shop around, but I doubt I'd find better.
And I will endeavor to keep it that way. But for now, I must be off. Oh, and Balthus? Join us at the next War Council.
But why?
Oh boy, that was close. It's like she was begging for me to make with the flirting. And if it wasn't for Hubert, I might even be stupid enough to try.
Oh, jeez, I love you, Balthus. Big himbo dumbass energy. Love him. Oh, Jesus. That honestly only put a dent in getting rid of Gerald's, Manuela's, Jess, and Eggnog Supports. Hubert still has 4 to go. Ferdinand has probably like the same amount. Yeah, quite literally. It isn't until I get to like these ones where they may have 1 or 2. If even that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to make a separate recording even later to get this up at a reasonable time. So yeah. See you later for stream. Bye-bye!